How we doing tonight? Moose Money. This is first time on walk-off wagers. Welcome everybody to the stream. It's gonna be another night breaking down all tomorrow's games. Nothing too special, but Moose Money comes in. He brings the best breakdowns from the West Coast. What do you got? What do you got for us tonight? Talk to me.
Well, it's your boy. Everybody knows Moose Money Bets. I get all the Mises, Moose, and yeah. I'm ready to talk some baseball. Let's get this going there, Spooner.
All right, we're gonna hop right into it. Cincinnati Reds, New York Yankees on the card. Anything sticking out at you in this game? I got my hand stuck in the cookie jar with this one. To be honest, I saw Garrett Cole on the mound. I saw Burns, and I was like, "Oh yes, this is the perfect spot to get the Reds with just a little bit too much money attached to him because Burns demands it. He's been one of the best pitchers in baseball, and I thought with Cole on the other side, you know what? The Yankees have the better offense. They have the better bullpen, and by better bullpen, I mean by a lot. I think the Reds bullpen in their current facet, missing their three best arms all on the IL, is the worst bullpen in baseball. You have guys that were supposed to be pitching in the sixth inning, trying to make up eighth and ninth inning work right now. It's a bad bullpen, but Garrett Cole's not on the mound tomorrow, is he, Moose?
No, he is not. They are going to be employing the services of Elmer Rodriguez. He is the number 2 prospect in the Yankees organization. There's not really a lot to be known about the kid except that he has exceptional stuff. A lot of difficulty controlling it. I was joking with you earlier, Spoon. If you look at his zone chart on Baseball Savant and you kind of scroll down a little bit and you kind of see like where all his pitches are getting mapped and tracked, that zone is what they use for a Rorschach test when they are trying to profile serial killers. Like, it is all over the place. You have no idea where these pitches are going. You're noticing that there's certain parts of the zone that he doesn't seem to throw the ball to. I mean, arm side curves, glove side sliders. He is consistently not throwing to his opposite arm side, opposite glove side. So he's not throwing the backdoor pitches. You got to figure that he is trying to essentially get his feet wet without really getting to a point where he's going to be establishing himself in the rotation. This is essentially a pushback day for Cole. And I was all prepared to agree with you and say this is a perfect opportunity to buy on Cole, because even though his swing and miss metrics are way down, he is turning into a legit soft contact pitcher. And he is a guy that I would have no problem betting on as this new version of Garrett Cole. The thing I just want to end on this here with Chase Burn, because he's very good. He has the stuff to get out of any kind of situation he might put himself into because of his walks, specifically his walks against left-handed hitters, which is at 11.8% this year. His whiff rate on his slider is 52.6%. So he can throw that slider and he can get a lot of swing and miss just by getting that slider to a point where it looks enticing enough. That is a good enough pitch that he can get out of a lot of situations he creates for himself. He's really good. He's still clearly figuring himself out at the big league level, but that fastball slider combo is nasty. I would want the Yankees here, but the thing that I'm going to look at more than anything would be the first 5 under. Burns over under in the first 5 is 2 and 4 to the under, but I'm not sure I'm going to get there given the control issues that you might get from Rodriguez.
Yeah. So I'm stuck on the Yankees. I got a minus 130 money line. I would suggest paying much cheaper than that. Elmer's, I think he has potential in this league. Throws a bunch of sinker balls. I think the potential for ground balls are high. That can kind of help take care of some of those control issues. You get one guy on, you get the next guy out, ground out, get a double play. We see guys like Jose Soriano kind of take advantage of that quite a bit. But he's still very young in the career. The slider, the change, the curve, they have to come into this mix. You can't just throw 2 fastballs and be successful in the major leagues level. So we'll see where that goes. But once we get into this after the 6th inning and Burns is out of this game, I think the Yankees have a huge advantage. Tough game. I think this fair price is closer to minus 120 Yankees than minus 165 Yankees, where I had it with Cole.
I do think it's also a good sign that they are still favored over Burns, but it's also the how the Reds are playing without Ellie De La Cruz. The trends on their performance without Ellie has been pretty substantial. I said the trends on the show this morning. I think they're like 4-10 or 4-11 this month without Ellie De La Cruz, and the games do tend to trend under without Ellie De La Cruz in the lineup.
It's ugly, and you also are missing the best bat on the Yankees side. I mean, Aaron Judge is also out of it, so that's not beautiful, but
Yep.
It's a game. Get on to the next one. Milwaukee Brewers, Atlanta Braves. Next one up. We have best price for me on the board, Milwaukee plus 125 and Atlanta minus 127. I really have liked what Elder's shown us this season. I really struggled to buy in early on, but I'm not buying into anything Robert Gasser has. I think Milwaukee's lineup right now is performing better than what Atlanta's is, but I understand why Atlanta's favored here. I would like to find a way to back them, but Milwaukee's lineup finds so many ways to score late in games. I look at it, and you have this Atlanta Braves bullpen that's been one of the best in baseball all year. Tough game for me. I don't think there's going to be a ton of runs. I think they come from Atlanta's side. I'd like to get it to Atlanta, but I haven't bet it yet. Bryce Elder's just one of those guys I can't trust. The expected numbers look better than I think they should, but they're still bad.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Kind of important note out there is the Milwaukee Brewers in Gasser starts are 1-4. In Elder starts at home, the Braves are 6-3, and since May they're 6-3 in Gasser starts as well. 4 starts for Elder against Milwaukee. 3 were really good. Or 3, I would say, not maybe really good, but they're good. And 1, not so much. His last start against the Brewers, 4th start, it was a 3 2/3. 8 hits, 7 earned runs. He did not see Milwaukee last year, so his last time he saw him, not exactly the best taste to leave in his mouth. He's had poor home numbers, but this year he's actually been better at home. The issue with Elder that I've had is his right-handed his numbers against right-handed hitters has been an issue not only in his career, but specifically this year. 288 batting average against right-handed hitters and 424 slug. He throws his sinker about 54% of the time. He's trying to get that ground ball. Those ground ball pitchers are going to rely on their sinker, and he throws it a lot, but it's just not overly effective. He does get a 49% hard hit rate on that sinker. So you're seeing a lot of guys being able to barrel up that sinker ball. And, if you're trying to get ground balls, the thing that is going to hurt you more than anything is hard hit. You do not want that ball getting through the infield faster. You want it to be a little less slower, so you're trying to take the sting out of the bat. We've seen some recent regression from Elder. 2 of his last 4 starts, he's given up at least 5 earned runs. He's fine. I agreed with you. He's fine, but he's not as good as a 3.15 ERA is suggesting. He will be a 3.8, 3.9. He's fine. He's good. He's somebody that you are going to feel good about if you have the backside of the other team's rotation. You have a good matchup there. Gasser, the biggest issue, in my opinion, is his fly ball rate. 34.8% fly ball rate for Robert Gasser. The MLB average for fly ball is 24.1%. He has the worst ground ball rate in baseball right now. He's got a 10% walk rate, so that's not helping matters. The ground ball is how you get the double play. If you ain't throwing the ball to the ground, you're not going to be inducing a lot of double play. So I kind of think an over might be a sneaky little play here, but I don't really want to try to go after a game that was very close today, very competitive all the way down to the wire. Another walk-off win for the Braves there. A little shout out to the show. But I have nothing here. Potentially maybe an over would be where I'd look, especially given what the bullpen usage was today.
Yeah, Milwaukee used their 3 best arms in McGill, Ashby, and Uribe. I don't hate that over. I could see a path to it. All done with that. You want to move on to the next one?
Let's go.
We have Detroit versus the Chicago White Sox next. Davis Martin, Kiter Montero is what I ran from my sim here. Double checking. I think that's the actual matchup.
Mm-hmm.
That's
it
what we got on
Verlander.
So Verlander got scratched. He back to the IL, correct?
He's out weeks.
When he say he's officially an old man or something like that. Terrible thing to hear, especially in the Detroit series here, right here. I think this would be a fun matchup. I don't know. Montero's been very serviceable so far this season. I think the Detroit lineup is starting to pick it up at home. Them being just minus 120 at home, you can get a little bit cheaper if you shop around some of the different trade markets. I think there's value on Detroit here. I personally make this line at minus 140. Davis Martin is a good pitcher. It's nothing against him. I just feel like the White Sox lineup is starting to tail off a little bit, and Detroit's lineup's picking it up, and Detroit's at home here. I feel like we have the better bullpen with Detroit at this point in the season. Two best arms for the White Sox still can always keep this live, but I like Detroit. I have not played anything in this game.
Man, minus 140. Yeah, you'd say Detroit minus 140 with Montero.
It's tough, but I probably bake a little bit too much confidence in Montero. But I mean, I've seen this guy pitch in person. He goes out there. I know the career marks don't look beautiful, but
yeah,
a lineup like this in the White Sox right now, I feel like we're overvaluing this. They're missing their best bat in their order still. He's on the IL for the foreseeable future. I don't know.
I mean, I can make a case for a minus 140 because you do have home road splits for Davis Martin that are pretty significant. At home this year, a 1.01 ERA, and on the road 5.09. So you hear those numbers, you're like, all right, dude, clearly, one of those numbers is skewed, like probably like 10 innings pitched, and the other one's 45 innings pitched, right? No, 35 and 46. So 1 start difference, 2 start difference between those two. There is a significant difference between his games on the road this year and his games at home. You can see right there on the screen, his home ERA versus his away ERA. But the White Sox in games that Martin has started are 11-3 on the year. On the road, they are 5-3 in games he has started. But since May, 6-2. In June, though, 1-2, and he has 3 of his 5 worst starts were in the last 3 of his last 5 starts. I said that improperly. 3 of his worst starts of the year have came in his last 5 starts. There you go. All right. So I would probably lean towards the Detroit side. And if they are holding that minus 120, I think I'm right there kind of with you, Spoon. I think that is a bit of a tell. That's a bit of an investment saying we're going to have the guy that has the clearly higher ERA and has less of an all-star caliber credential on their resume for the season. And we're going to make them a more bona fide favorite. This is also a minus 120, which is generally on a neutral field, kind of neutral price, which again, all-star credentials on one side, replacing another pitcher on the other side who was getting moved to the bullpen, and you're still having it as a favorite. I could see Detroit as the side. I'm not going to get there more than likely just because I don't really know what we're going to see from Montero. His ground ball rate this year has regressed 5.5%, and that needs to get fixed. He does get outs, but he's not going to survive a 64% fly ball rate. He's not going to survive that. I'm not going to be able to trust him in a game where he might be trying to overpitch in terms of trying to create confidence in him staying in the rotation.
It's tough to make a huge case to back Kiter Montero, but I think there's more behind him than a lot of people see just looking at a spreadsheet right now. Martin is definitely the better pitcher, but I mean, on a neutral field, this implies that the White Sox would be favored with them just being minus 120. I feel like on a neutral field, this implies White Sox being like minus 115 kind of favorites. But I get it. It makes sense. No edge for me. Let's move on. Giants versus Marlins. This Marlins team has been one of my favorite teams this year to watch. You got to find your spots to back them. Today was one of those spots. So far this season, I mean, that kid hasn't lost on the mound at home. Six runs they got up while he was out there. I was shooting myself in the foot for not taking the first 5 with the full game, but going up against Logan Webb, I don't have the same confidence coming into this game versus like a much better pitcher. I nowhere near the same amount of confidence in Gusto. This guy was in Houston last year, had a cup of coffee, wasn't terrible, but also didn't demand a contract or anything like that. He's gotten just a few appearances here. The last 2 games, 4 1/3, 4 innings. Versus Arizona, didn't give up a run, looked pretty solid, but versus Philadelphia, 5 earned runs, 8 hits, 3 walks, got shelled. And most of the damage has come versus lefties so far. 1.92 whip. It doesn't look pretty. You have a bunch of lefties in this Giants lineup. I'm not in love with the Giants lineup. I look at their numbers on paper, and in the last month, they're like one of the best lineups in baseball, and it just doesn't make sense to me. But I think tomorrow versus Gusto, they get some runs. Marlins got their win today, but Logan Webb's out there getting healthy again. I think he continues to pitch masterfully. I could get there with the Giants. I just minus 143 is a little expensive. I don't know if I can shop around, find a better price, but I would like to be on the Giants tomorrow.
I mean, it's kind of wild that we're in a year where Logan Webb is minus 143 against a guy, with the last name Gusto. Giants 4-8 on the road. 4-8 on the season, 3-3 on the road in Webb starts. San Francisco has won 2 of his last 3, and 4 of the there's 4-8 to under 8.5, 3-3 on the under 8.5 on the road though. So not nearly as much of a trend on the road towards the under as it is at home. He did return from a little bit of knee injury on May 29th, and since then, San Francisco 2-2 in his starts, but 3 of his last 4 starts have been under 7.5. Okay, we know who Logan Webb is at this point. There are certain things that we kind of have understood when you look at a Logan Webb game. There are home road splits that you have to be able to account for. In his career, he has generally pitched much better at home than he has on the road. He is also, in his career, had a little bit of a tendency to struggle with left-handed hitters because sometimes he just can't get that sinker in enough and it'll kind of leak out over the plate. J-Lo and Anaconda, big size butt here. This year, Webb has been better on the road, a 2.97 ERA. You can see right there on the screen versus when he's at home. And he's been good against left-handed hitters this year, a 3.5 ERA, 264 batting average against, but only a 365 slug. The thing that I would be concerned with when I'm looking at Logan Webb is his hard hit rate, which is a little bit higher this year. And I don't think that's as big of an issue because he can still generate the ground ball. I think we talked about this already, that the hard hit rate can be minimized a little bit when you have a ground ball pitcher. It's not ideal. Like the ground ball can get through quicker. But if I'm trying to build like the perfect pitcher, Logan Webb's sinker is absolutely one of the pitches that I would put in there. I could even argue that he has one of the best ground ball he's been one of the best ground ball pitchers in Giant history. I could potentially make that argument. I'm not going to make it. Anybody that's a Giant fan is probably screaming Matt Cain or Jason Schmidt that's out there, or maybe so you go a little more old school. The issue I have with
haven't
Gusto,
heard Matt Cain in a couple of years.
Right, just a little oldie but goodie there. That was like the original OG modern era ground ball pitcher that we kind of have nowadays. But with Gusto, 3-2 for Miami when he's being used. But I absolutely I'm a pitching coach, and I loathe how they have increased his pitch count this year. Here's Gusto's pitch counts this year. He went from 40 to 33 to 66 to 91. That is criminal. You do not increase somebody's pitch count like that just in the matter of 2 starts. You have to have some kind of progression. I don't care what kind of arm it is. If I was the coach in the opposing dugout, I am walking my ass over there and I am demanding to hear an explanation like, why are you throwing this kid like he's got a rubber arm? Like, you got to be better than this. He has a hard hit rate of 49%. I don't have much in this game, but I did want to mention that just because it really pisses me off when I see teams do that to a pitcher.
That's a fair thing, like especially with younger guys. But Gusto's been around a minute, and he was pitching well into that game. Like he's wasn't
fine, but that progression to go from 33 pitches, and then the next start is 66, and then the next start is 91. Those are progressions of 30 pitches. That's egregious. Like the recovery is different for each level that you're at for when you pitch. And if you are coming back from a 60th pitch performance, you have a different set of recovery that you're going to do for 60, and you're going to have a different one for 90. So the fact that they're having them do different recoveries for each one of these starts is insane to me. But maybe that's because I want to protect the pitchers a little bit more, and I'm not viewing them as a commodity, more as like a long-term relationship.
Yeah, I feel like a guy like Ryan Gusto is kind of viewed as a commodity, though. It makes sense. They're not like I said, this is not a good spot for him. Coming back off that makes it seem all the bit worse. Very tough in baseball when your own coaching department kind of leaves you out to dry.
Exactly, right?
Didn't even look at it in that sense to this point. And any interest in the Giants actually moving on them tomorrow?
No, I can't. I have a rule now in baseball. It's like I was the guy that I would bet minus 160s, minus 170. If it's over minus 120, I can't get the value because you're looking at, if you look at like the 50% mark of the money line and how that compares to the expected percentage of win. I just feel like once you get to the minus 120, you're now in a range where you're really committing to a winner. And in baseball, every game has so much volatility that no game should really have that much of a percentage of an implied win, implied victory. So I generally cap my bets at minus 120. If I'm doing a minus 120, I'm going to get creative, like team total over and money line, or pitcher strikeouts over and money line, if I'm doing it like that.
So what if I told you Pete Fairbanks, the closer for Miami, has pitched on back-to-back days, likely unavailable 15 and 19. Their setup man, Anthony Bender, also back-to-back days, 14 and 14. And Cade Gibson, back-to-back days, Tyler Zuber, back-to-back days for this Miami bullpen. They had a bullpen day, not today, but yesterday. So every single arm went. And then they were in a position to win a game today. So every good arm went. So they're all tired right now. They've all seen this team on back-to-backs. And the Giants, I mean, it's not a good bullpen throughout the course of the season, but the important arms are fresh.
I would say that if with
listening
all that
to
being
your breakdown
said,
of Gusto and having to come back off of that, it's clearly not in a great situation. This Giants team is overperforming offensively. I mean, what is it?
If that is the mentality, the line's going to move towards the Giants. But if it doesn't move, then it's also like, with all the things you said, how is the line not moving towards the Giants? So it's kind of like, make your commitment now, because it's either very likely going to move towards them, or if it doesn't move, it's like, why is it not moving towards the Giants with all those factors in their favor?
I've been the Marlins guy all season. I'm going to go ahead and lock in. I have minus 140. I see a 131 available on a exchange, but it doesn't look like I can get down on it. So I'm going to move on this 140. I'm locking it in.
I don't hate it. I agree with everything you're saying. The only thing that would give me a little trepidation is it seems like that's still a little bit of a low number. But if it moves heavily to the Giants, then it's like, all right, it was just where they set it, because the career numbers on Webb on the road are generally, stay away. But this year it is flipped.
We're talking about like a park that's a dome. It's traditionally more pitcher friendly than hitter friendly here. I mean, this is a controlled environment. I feel like Webb should do just fine.
Yeah. He's a future Hall of Famer. So, tough to argue against using him in any kind of situation.
Hall of Famer or Giants Hall of Famer?
I would think that given who we're throwing into the Hall of Fame nowadays, I mean, I think he's definitely up to the caliber of what we're sending in nowadays. 10 years ago, probably not, but now, yeah, I'd probably, maybe you know what? I'd have to think about it. Off the top of my head, I'd say yes, but the more I think about it, it's just like, at some point you're lowering the bar too much, and you're going to start letting in, Brian Jordans are going to start getting into the Hall of Fame.
Personally, Anthony Rizzo, one of my favorite players during that Cubs run. He carried the Cubs from being one of the worst teams in MLB to finally getting over the hump, and great first baseman in my mind. Like, how can this guy not be in the Hall of Fame when I'm in that stretch of baseball? But when you kind of look back at things and just put it in totality versus all the other first basemen that have ever existed, guy doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
I think that's
I think it should be a select
though.
few. I think it should be very hard to get into that club.
But that was a great comp. I mean, like that level, the Logan Webbs and the Anthony, like that's literally like, are we letting that level in now? Is like we're there.
It's a Hall of Great. That's the Hall of Great.
Yeah.
All right. Next up on the board, we have Washington Nationals versus Tampa Bay Rays. Double checking the pitching matchup here. Alvarez versus Martinez. Alvarez, rookie season coming out there. He's shown some spots where he's been very solid. It's not anywhere where you can definitely just go out there and back the kid, but I haven't lost confidence in him so far. Nick Martinez, on the other hand, I thought this year we could come in here and just fade this guy. But Tampa Bay, as Tampa Bay always does, when they pick up a pitcher, they do better. And I mean, look at Nick Martinez this season. This is I don't even know what to say about it. I thought this guy would be in the KBO, not trying to get a Cy Young appearance. I mean, he could mess around the second half of the season and actually be in the Cy Young conversation right now.
I'll make a case here. I'll make a case here that I can kind of explain away some of this stuff. All right, but the important thing to note with Martinez, the Rays are 10-4 when he's on the bump. They are 5-2 at home when he's on the bump. He's had 9 appearances against Washington, a 2.89 ERA, 2 starts, 1 meh, 1 good. So here's the mystery of the expected ERA. The expected ERA is 2 runs higher than what the regular season ERA is. So you ask, why is it that much higher? There's no walks. He has solid barrel rate. He has a very good hard hit percentage, and he gets swings out of the zone. So why? You look at his pitch metrics. All of his pitches, except for his changeup, grade very, very poorly. Like you're looking at expected batting averages in the 300s, expected slugs in the 500s. So what makes Martinez effective is it's literally just how he uses his pitch mix and his ability to keep hitters off balance. He does such a great job of being able to sequence a guy to look at something that's away, and then he's able to give them something that they think they recognize in, and they're just not able to put barrel on the ball. He's really good. You can still survive with good old-fashioned pitching in Major League Baseball nowadays, and Nick Martinez is kind of the one prime example of that. But when you face better hitting teams, good old-fashioned pitching can sometimes fade away. If you are an elite pitcher, the old adage is great pitching beats great hitting, but good pitching does not necessarily mean it's always going to beat great pitching. And when you have great offenses, which Washington has absolutely been at times and has been recently, but I'm not going to discount the fact that Martinez his outs value, his value on outs is still very impressive. The thing with Alvarez is there are a lot of metrics that create a lot of optimism. Elite ground ball rate, 53.8% ground ball rate, a solid chase and whiff percentage, and a good barrel rate of 6.4%, which is below league average. Big old Mia Malkova butt here. He has the league worst hard hit rate of 51.3%. His average exit velo on his pitches is 91.8 miles an hour. His fastball is only 0.3 miles an hour faster than the average exit velo off of his pitches.
But that's what ground ball guys do.
That's not good.
They let him hit it really hard into the ground. That's what they do. So that hard hit, when they measure it, it's the same whether it goes into the outfield over the wall or if it goes 2 feet into the dirt.
Yeah, if you only have like a half a second to react, it doesn't matter if it's on the ground or if it's. But the fact that it's a half a second past you, is not exactly the best thing. He's only pitched in the 4th innings 3 times this year. He's not gone 5 innings at any point this year. So expect the bullpen for Washington to show up. Dude's got good stuff, but he will give up a 100-mile-an-hour exit velocity pitch tomorrow, whether it's on the ground or in the air. He's going to give up something that is hard hit. It's just a matter of where does it land, and I don't really have much of a feel on it. I would absolutely argue to an over here, but the fact that they do kind of have – actually, yeah, they have it in an 8. gives me a little trepidation. I would rather have them see that set at like an 8.5 or a 9 to get me over there, especially with that Washington bullpen. But at an 8, that's going to probably keep me off from an over. But that's where I would be looking here.
Moose, I got to be real honest with you. I wanted to get to the first 5 in this game with Washington. Alvarez has been, not great. You can look at some of these starts and pick holes in him. He's not going deep. And that's a big thing. I don't want to get to a full game bet with Alvarez because this Washington bullpen is garbage. But a first 5 bet, I feel like I have the way better offense. This Washington Nationals offense in baseball is a top 5 offense on the season versus a pitcher in Nick Martinez that honestly I feel like has some regression coming for him. And Alvarez, yeah, he's got some stats that don't look beautiful, but he's going out there 4 innings. They're not doing anything to pull him apart. They're letting him get comfortable on the major league level. And I just see a lot of good out of him when I watch him on the mound versus Kansas City, San Francisco, Miami. Not the best offenses, but Tampa Bay, what have they done versus left-handed pitching this year? Full season, WRC plus, they're sitting 25th in baseball. I think this is a spot where Andrew Alvarez can show up. I'm looking at a plus 100 first 5 money line for Washington. I'm really close to moving on this. I don't want to involve the bullpens, but I think the first 5 I can get there with. I think we have the better offense. We have the better pitcher, in my opinion. That's time will prove that tale, but he's going out there. I think he's better. I'm really close to this. Plus 100. I really feel like this should be like minus 115, minus 120. Throughout the course of the season, Washington's been one of the best teams on the road.
I was going to say, it's also, you look at just the difference in their record and their data. Same thing we were just talking about, how they're setting the line. That's not where they set the line. I think it was, when I looked at it, it was like minus 131, maybe minus 128. So it didn't feel like they were really making a significant investment in Martinez. And I kind of was like, oh yeah, I get that. I can see why they're not really wanting to invest in Martinez, even though it's really tough to refute when a guy just gets results and you can't really explain it other than he just kind of pitches his way into good production. And that would be my main argument, which if you're on the other side of plus money, that's kind of like, all right, yeah, I'll take my chances against something like that. So I don't have any issue. I fully endorse where you're coming from with the Alvarez side. The thing that I would definitely want to check is I'd also want to double check what Martinez's first 5 record is, because how many of those times were a Caminero late inning home run or some kind of late inning heroics. So I would look up, if you could figure it out, whether it's through the Chat GPT, AI, Mod, God, whatever it is, to figure out the first 5. That is something that I would definitely look at. And if I had the first 5 potential advantage, like if Martinez's record is like 500, man, that's a great pull. That's a great little ticket that you got out of the game. So I don't have an issue, not at all.
Yeah, I'm pulling this up. I try to load it on the book, and it's loading as first 5 winner, and I have to double check this book to see if this is a 3-way or 2-way before I move on that.
You got to be very, very specific with the AI.
No,
you got to be very, very very nitpicky on how you ask the question.
Yeah. I don't care whatever Chat GPT says. I've seen Nick Martinez pitch. I know he's been great this season. Nobody believes in Washington's offense. It all fits for me. I believe in Washington's offense. I don't believe in Nick Martinez. I believe in Andrew Alvarez. This is a spot. If I can't get this plus 100, I'm double checking to see if this is the right bet, because this might be a 3-way bet, not a 2-way bet. I'll pay 105 that I can get on a different book, but I'll revisit that. Let's hit the next game. Cleveland Guardians, Houston Astros. Pretty solid matchup here. Kai Wei Tang on the mound versus Slade Ciccone. Coming into the season, I had decent expectations for both of these pitchers. I think this is a terrible spot for Kai Wei Tang. He's going to see so many lefties. This is a guy that has given up 1.75 whip so far this season, 9.44 OPS to lefties. Those are terrible numbers, but missing out of the center of the lineup is Jose Ramirez, the biggest bat for the Cleveland Guardians. Generally hard to back this team. I was just trying to go there blindly back unders with this team. They ruined my under tonight all by themselves. I was like, how is this offense going to score enough runs? They did it. So I'm not going to immediately go there with an under. I'm going to sit there and wait. And the more I break it down, I'm like, is Cleveland's offense going to light up Kai Tang? I think he could possibly do it. Slate Ciccone, he's had some issues throughout the course of the season, but if we just look at his last 3 games, he saw the Yankees and the Brewers. Those are 2 of the best teams in baseball versus the Yankees. Twice he gave up 3 earned runs over the course of 11 innings. That's really good work for me. I think this guy's starting to come into his own. Followed it up with a road start versus the Milwaukee Brewers, one of the best offenses in baseball, held them to just 1 run. He didn't get a single win in any of those games because he got 0 offensive production behind him. Goes back to the under that I was trying to blindly back, but I think there's some value here on Cleveland with plus money on the road. I think Kai Tang's going to get lit up by this Guardians offense that has no bats there. I don't have enough confidence to actually put my money on it.
Man, I might. I think I'm literally right there with you. It's Cleveland, and it would be the under. Ciccone, he actually, in about the middle of May, they were talking about this on the broadcast. I was watching the game between the Yankees and the Guardians, and the Guardians broadcast was talking about how he started using his cutter a bit more, and you kind of check his usage, and there is more use of it, not a significant amount, but he's using his cutter more. And you're starting to notice that, as a pitcher, you hear tunneling all the time, how a pitcher tunnels their pitches. And the fact that he's got a cutter that is being respected by hitters more has given more definition to his tunnel so that he doesn't just have hitters sitting on one side expecting only arm side movement. Now they have glove side movement that they have to respect. And you are seeing much better performances. You already talked about his games against Milwaukee, against the Yankees. He hasn't given up more than 3 runs since May 2nd. 6 of his last 8 starts have been 2 runs or fewer. If you have him if he's available in fantasy, because his ERA right now is still not good, dude, go grab him. I know this is not like a fantasy show, but he is that type of sneaky guy that you can pick up. And for Kiwi Tang, which I'm pretty sure that is how it is. I'm pretty sure it's Kiwi Tang is how it is pronounced. As a starter,
Kiwi Tang? Thank you for that.
No, you said it right.
I mispronounced that 100 times with the Kai.
No, it is Kaiway. I think it is Kaiway. It's just that when Cab and I were doing this, he said it was Kiwi Tang. I was like, dude, that's a great nickname. So it is Kiwi Tang for me. So any references you hear about Kiwi Tang, it is about this pitcher that we have in front of us today for the Houston Astros. As a starter, the Astros are 2-6 in his games. In any game he's appeared in, the Astros are 7-14 when he has pitched. So the way that I looked at this with Tang is just the realization of he should be a bulk guy one time through the order, dude. There is no world that he should be seeing lineups for a second or third time around in his career. The first time through, ERA is under 4. The second time through, his ERA is over 7. And his third time through, his ERA is over 12, both his career and this year. Stop having him go through the lineup a second time. Just have him go through the lineup once. Then you can go to another guy. He's been very effective his one time through the lineup, and we're starting to see hitters are making the adjustment. I am absolutely on Cleveland. You mentioned the absence of Ramirez. I do like the under here, but I think I'm probably going to get to the money line on Cleveland at plus money because I don't think we're going to have many opportunities left to back the Slade that is Slade Ciccone.
Just want to shout out some of the guys in the chat real quick. Have done a terrible job of it so far. Obviously, our guy Swig, Nunya in there. Josh Witt, saw a terrible comment in there from you. Just hate to see that for you, man. Prayers from the entire Pub Sports family for you on that. I hope you have a great day tomorrow. Shout out Dabby. Shout out everybody in here. Wager Detective, K Miles, Nathan Cerna here. Let's get this. Nathan Cerna just needs Japan money line for parlay tonight. Go get that. I'd love to see that. Have you watched any of this world?
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Let's talk baseball.
I thought I was the only person in the world not watching not watching soccer.
Get the fuck out of here with that little hobby
of
running
31 without watching a World Cup game. I think I'm going to make it to 32.
There, that's a great goals in life, man. I love the ambition. I fully support and endorse. Can I please subscribe to your newsletter?
Speaking of subscribing to the newsletter, if you don't know, you got to subscribe to Moose's newsletter. This is what's going to keep you up to date in college football. If you want to go 2 for 3 on your parlay on Saturdays, Moose is your guy. He's going to get you right there. You just gotta pick.
Perfect, man. Dude, I will absolutely get you right to the window and then let you feel the full weight of disappointment that is my college football betting.
100%. You got to check out the Moose Drive. You can find it on your X account, right? I don't know if you have it pinned or anything. I'm sure it's going to be updated as you go.
Yeah, it is pinned. I'll throw it. Throw more stuff out there as I go along. But it's just a personal thing for me this year. I'm not trying to do like the whole show, like all the numbers. Like this is just like I need to organize my thoughts because I had a train wreck of a season last year. So I got to get some things, organized up top for me to be able to, get my bank account going the right way for sports betting.
Realistic expectations are important.
Exactly.
Like just going out there and looking at this. This is a game that you're not supposed to win. You have to break this down in a probabilistic way, and I have a lot of faith in you. I think next season's going to be great for you in college football. Going on to the next game, we got the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Kansas City Royals. This Royals offense has showed up in ways that just baffle me so far. We're talking about a Royals lineup without Bobby Witt in the center of it. I backed McGreevy the other day. He's a young pitcher. He doesn't show it on the spreadsheets. He doesn't break you away with 99 mile an hour fastballs or anything like that, but he's been impressive and the Royals got to him. Do I think the Royals continue to do this kind of stuff? Not really. We look at Dustin May. This is a guy that had a rough start to his career, dealt with a ton of injuries. Actually, every time I've backed this guy on a strikeout prop, he's ended his season with an injury. So I have decided to never back him again on a strikeout prop. And he's healthy pitching out there. Went 9 innings last time out versus the Padres. Does he have a bad game after that? Normally, I think yes, but I don't think so versus the Royals. I think Dustin May can go out there, pitch pretty well. I lean to the Cardinals here, but I'm not going to get there. I think I need plus money.
It's also like you alluded to it. The standard sports betting fade of a guy that just went 9 innings pitched. He really wasn't stressed though. If there were some high stress pitches, you'd be like, all right, but he really wasn't that much over. Like I think it was 103, something like a 99 somewhere in there. I think it was 101, but it wasn't a lot of pitches. So I really wouldn't worry about him being overly taxed. The thing with Dustin May is he still does get hard. He gives up a lot of hard hits. And when you face offenses that are more prone to get hard hits, you're probably going to see him, have those games where there's a little bit of traffic. There's, some lights on the scoreboard that are starting to light up that weren't lit up before. Against the Padres are not a hard hit team. The Royals, kind of trending that way a little bit, but they've generally not been a hard hitting team this year. Kolek is pitching way above his pay grade. 2.68 ERA is not Stephen Kolek. You look at his stuff plus does not grade well at all. What was it? His stuff plus, I think, graded 93 and 91. So it's fine. It's serviceable. Where he does really well is he uses location and movement to his advantage, and he just gets outs. He doesn't have a lot of stuff that's going to make you drool over it as a scout, but he just gets results. Another one of those pitchers that just pitches and gets results. I like Kolek a lot more just because he does have better stuff than some of those other guys that you'll hear me say just gets outs. I would probably lean more towards Kansas City here at plus money because I think just based off of the whole mentality of it seems like it's 50-50 game. Royals at home. You're always going to have the last at bat, which is the advantage in baseball. Plus money in a situation like that where you feel like pitching is similar and you don't really have too much of a crazy hitting discrepancy. I would probably lean towards Kansas City, but I'm probably not going to go against Dustin May right now, who has done much better against left-handed hitters. That has been a problem in his career, but he's done much, much better. And since May 3rd, he's done very, very well. And I just don't really want to go up against Dustin May with Stephen Kolek right now, but I would lean Royals.
So, like I said, I would need plus money for the Cardinals, and that's because I don't trust what Kolik's doing, but he's
Yeah.
doing it. 6 innings, no earned runs versus St. Louis last time he saw this lineup. 9 innings pitched versus Seattle, no earned runs. Complete game shutout. Saw Texas gave up 4 earned runs. That's his worst game of the season. Followed it up with 2 games where he pitched into the 7th inning. 2 earned runs versus Cincinnati, nothing versus Houston. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run versus Texas the second time around. This guy's just going out there and doing it. He's getting outs. I can't fade him.
I think we literally,
I don't believe it, but I can't fade him.
It's hitting the nail on the head here. It's, if you're betting one of these guys, you need to be betting the side that has plus money, because that's the right side. If you're betting Dustin May, you definitely want the plus money. Like, you shouldn't be betting him as the favorite here on the road. Take Kolek at home, because you're getting what feels like the better value on the return of your investment versus Dustin May. But if it was the flip side, I would ask Spoon, I'd absolutely be right there with you. I'd be like, yeah, I want to be on Dustin May's side right here. So it's chasing where the plus money is more than it is like chasing who you think is winning here.
All right, let's move along. Next game up, we got my Chicago Cubs. This team has been a little bit of an enigma. I don't really know how to describe them. Anybody on the Cubs today, I just feel sorry for you. I looked at the game and I was like, I want to back them. I think Colin Ray can go out there, have a good game. Palencia is out for this bullpen right now. It forces people into situations in the back end where they just pitch where they're not used to pitching, and that forces people to be uncomfortable. And when you're uncomfortable in a sport like MLB baseball, you're going to it's going to show up. The MLB batters are going to make you pay. And so it worries me to back this Cubs game in a full game situation. I like Imanaga. He's a fly ball pitcher that pitches in Wrigley Field. So for me, I just always need a day where it's going to be pretty pitcher friendly. So either the wind blowing in or the wind not necessarily blowing out. Tomorrow, temperatures are going to be in the 60s, wind blowing across from right to left. I have a little bit different numbers from the numbers on the screen, but pretty much the same. Nothing crazy. It's not going to be offensive. Ballpark Pal has it modeled minus 13% runs, just like you see there, minus 7% home runs. I think this is going to be a good day for Imanaga to go out there and pitch. On the opposite side, you have Dylan Cease. This is a guy drafted by the Chicago Cubs organization, coming back to face the team that drafted him. I think he's going to pitch well. I think this is a first 5 dead under. I thought I was going to be able to get there, and then I ran and I looked at the number, and you see 6.5 full game.
What?
This is ridiculous. So the books are way ahead of me on this. I don't have any value on this game. I agree that this is going to be an absolute pitcher's duel. I dreamt of the day that I'd get to see Dylan Cease pitch in a Chicago Cubs uniform when I saw him in Double-A, and it never came to fruition. But here, he's going to show up in Wrigley. He's going to pitch great. I think Imanaga is going to pitch well. This Blue Jays lineup doesn't scare me. I think there's maybe a little bit of value plus money on the Cubs, but like I said, I can't get to that bullpen, so I'm going to be off it altogether. I'm going to watch this game. I'm going to love this game.
Are you going to be watching this game with your safety blanket, with your God damn it, with your comfort companion? What the hell? What's the animals called? The service and the animals you take on planes when you're too much of a wuss to like fly by yourself.
It's a service animal.
What's the name?
I know there's a name for it. Chat, help us out here.
Like your care companion, your whatever it is. Are you going to have one of those near at hand tomorrow when Cease is pitching against the Cubs? Because if you don't, you might want to think about it. He is absolutely dominated. He is a nightmare for the Cubs. He's 8 starts, and he's only allowed more than 2 runs twice. And if you remember the last time that he pitched against the Cubs, it was in the playoffs. That was the only game my Padres won. But he absolutely dominated, and he loves pitching against the Cubs. So when you're talking about that 6.5, well, I was a little surprised to see that, given that Imanaga has kind of struggled. 4 of his last starts, he's given up at least 5 runs the only 2 starts that he had that were, good productive starts, both against Colorado. So, major grain of salt on that. Crazy reverse home road splits, which you'd expect at Wrigley, given that the weather is so volatile there. The hard hit rate is something that a lot of people might be talking about, the barrel percentage being higher. But Spoons, you can confirm this. When he's on, it is soft contact. He does have a tendency that his splitter will get up in the zone, his fastball will get up in the zone, and he will get hit hard. So his bad outings are really bad outings. I've got a couple of Cub fans that are friends of mine, and they say it is a lot of fun when Imanaga is going well, and it's also a plus because when he's not, you can turn that game off very early. You do not have to stick around.
Fly ball contact, like we've been talked about Logan Webb so far tonight. A guy, the way he throws the ball, it induces ground ball contact. This is the exact opposite. The way Imanaga pitches the ball, it goes straight up in the air. On a windy day in Chicago, a ball that goes straight up in the air can go really far. I've seen some absolutely ugly games with Imanaga, but you got to take that into context. This is not a game that's going to hurt him that way. I just found a book that's lagging. I found it under 7 minus 115. I played it. This is going to be 6.5 everywhere tomorrow. Cease is going to go out there and absolutely deal. Someday, I hope he comes back and pitches in a Cubs uniform.
Any concerns about the potential bullpen issues, and the fact that Cease, one of the issues with his strike to ball ratio, he doesn't pitch past the 5th or 6th inning. So you are going to have to be going to a bullpen that in this series has been used quite a bit by Toronto. So do you feel like maybe the 7 might creep up a little bit more?
Louis Varland pitched tonight. Jeff Hoffman pitched tonight. Estrada and Mason Flaherty. So for them to close out a game, the arms that I have personally ranked the best in Toronto's lineup that I want are Tyler Rogers, I want Braden Fisher, and I want Louis Varland. I believe Louis Varland, after having 2 days off before tonight, is still available. I believe Tyler Rogers, after having a day off, is definitely available. He pitched 28 on Friday, and Braden Fisher also had the day off. I think he's available. Those are the arms that I think come in after Dylan Cease. My guy Toast calls him no decision Dylan because he doesn't pitch deep enough into games. He's a Padres fan right there with you. Yeah. He also doesn't love Dylan Cease because that giant contract and everything, but it is what it is.
But it's also like he'll get to 2 strikes and he just like nibbles. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna throw. It's like, dude, you have great stuff. Throw one more pitch. Like, why are you trying to nibble? You can see that he kind of pitches scared a little bit, and he doesn't have that dog. You want that pitcher out on the mound to have that dog. But it's also nice when that guy on the mound also dominates a team like he does with Cubs.
Shout out the chat. They gave us the answer. They came through with a couple. Rod Zawacki said Thunder Buddy. That's not what he was looking for, but that also works.
That's good enough.
Service dog. Close, but not it. I think emotional support dog.
There it is, the emotional. That's exactly it. There it is. All right. But Thunder Buddy is absolutely the right answer. So
shout out Gravy Bets. Yeah, I'm locking in that under 7. I know it's not beautiful. The back ends in this bullpen, both sides. Like I already touched on it. No Palencia.
I like
it. The Jays lineup is not it. The 7's going to close 6.5. If I lose it, you know what? It happens.
I might join you on that. That is not a bad call. I think you got something there, Spoon. I think you got something. I think you dug around a little bit with that little spoon you got.
All right. Moving on. Pittsburgh Pirates versus the Colorado Rockies. 2 teams that have exceeded my expectations this season. Not even closely. Like this Rockies team compared to where they were last season. I mean, what would this game be? Rockies like sitting there plus 150. Yeah. The line on the board is wrong. I have Pittsburgh minus 130, and I have Colorado sitting like plus 127. Those are different books, but around those areas, they're both going to be more juice because those are the best numbers available on the board for both of those. But I do believe Pittsburgh should be favored in this matchup. It's one of the best pitchers in baseball going out there on the mound. Double checking this. Hold on. Do you have anything in this game? I want to make sure this.
No, it's Jones. It's Jared. Right? It should be Jared Jones. Should be. That was today. Skeens and Tommy Sugar were today. It should be Jared Jones and Michael Lorenz.
All All right, that was throwing me off for a second. I was completely off
I
here.
got you.
So Jared Jones, one of the better pitching talents up and coming in baseball. He has all the tools to put it together. What do you think of him as a pitching coach? I'm really interested to hear your thoughts here. Personally, I think Lorenzen gets lit up. I think the Pirates are favored here on the road for a reason. I don't know if I can actually get there, but
I like Jared Jones. I mean, he's got some kind of numbers right now that don't exactly look all that impressive. He has seen Colorado twice. He did have one start that was on the road in Colorado that was not good. Here's the issue with Jared Jones is that it's left-handed hitters have been the issue early on in his career. Against lefties, lefties are hitting 261 with a 493 slug and a hard hit rate of 36.4%. And so far this year, he has a 12.96 ERA against lefties with a 439 average and an 829 slug. But a Nicki Minaj sized butt here, hitters have a 519 BABIP against him right now. It's a 3.39 xFIP, so expect a lot of improvement for Jared Jones. His fastball is still very good. He also had to deal with that start out in that little Cracker Jack stadium that they had in Las Vegas. That can mess with you. There can be residual effects of a bad stadium that you pitch in for a start or two. He's going to be fine. He's just missing in the zone right now. His stuff is tremendous. He will be just fine. He is absolutely bet on. I don't think this is the price to bet on him here. The other side, how many appearances do you think Michael Lorenzen has had against Colorado in his against Pittsburgh in his career? How many appearances do you think he's had in his career against Pittsburgh?
Well, considering he pitched for the Reds, I would guess 25.
You're almost halfway there. He's had 45 appearances against Pittsburgh, mostly as a reliever, with Cincinnati. 2.72 ERA against Pittsburgh. Earlier this year, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. Left-handed hitting has been the issue. 8.59 ERA against lefties, 403 average against, 736 slug, and a hard hit rate of almost 50%. The pitch metrics are really bad. He is struggling right now to hang on as an MLB pitcher. It would not be the most far out thing if he ended
this is the best Pirates lineup he's ever seen.
You could very easily make
on paper. This Pirates lineup is better than any Pirates lineup in the last 10 years.
Yeah. I was gonna say when O'Neal Cruz first came up and there was like electricity, well, it was like him, Brian Hayes, Brian Reynolds. They were all kind of young, they were all fast and playing the game kind of at a higher level. That did not last long. So I think I would not be able to make much of a case here. But I do want to say that there was at least a point where the Pirates lineup was like, oh, man, this actually might be a team to bet on in the future with this core of young talent. And you got some pitching coming along. But no. Okay, I concede. You win. Yeah, you got it.
All right. Nothing huge on that for either side in this game. Let's move along. Los Angeles Angels, Anaheim Angels. Shout out Wine Time. Our guy stopped in the house. Angels in the outfield to maybe tomorrow, question mark. We have Detmers on the mound. If I'm looking to back the Angels, it's got to be a Detmers start. Perkins on the opposite side. Coming into the season, I had some decent expectations when he got called up. It's tough. He pitches in one of the worst ballparks in baseball. So when you look at his numbers, they're generally going to look worse than what they actually are. But he's also struggled on the road. We see in that Houston game, he got hit up. I go back and forth with this game, but I really like the Athletics. It's an offense that I found ways to back a lot this season. And Reed Detmers is one of those guys I just don't trust. He's coming out like 2 quality starts, amazing starts. I think this is a spot where the Athletics get to him. Jack Perkins goes out there, pitches well, but the books are kind of telling us that with the price. You have, again, I don't think the price on screen is right. Let me just recheck this. Athletics sitting, no, this is right. Minus 125 to 135 and Angels 117-ish is best price I see. I like the Athletics, but why are we paying this price? Detmers has been so solid this season. Is it just that Mike Trout's not in the lineup? How do you get there with this Angels offense? I guess that makes sense to me as well.
I think the book is making a very obvious statement here about Reed Detmers. And also, I think they're making a statement about Perkins and his transition into the rotation, because he was a bulk reliever guy, and he's been good as a bulk reliever. These sports books do check some of the same pages we check out there. And if you look at the Baseball Savant page for Perkins, loves him, dude, loves him. I loaded up the screen and it had a heart just around, like it just showed up like on screen when I was looking at his data and information. The issue is that he's just hasn't been good as a starter. Like the transition from reliever to starter hasn't been there. And for anybody that's like, come on, like how difficult is it really? It is such a different beast of what you're trying to do just in your preparation. Like you have to know how you're going to sequence guys, not the first time through, but also the second time through. Are you setting them up for the second at bat, or are you just going to start attacking them in the first? Are you going to come out the gate with absolute gas and then kind of pull it back? Or are you going to try to build it up? Are you going to be fastball dominant early so that you can use your off-speed stuff later? Or are you just going to open up the entire pitch mix right out of the gate? These are all questions that you don't really ask as a reliever, because you just go all out. So there's going to be that transition. I think eventually he is going to be a bet on guy, and it looks like maybe it's not even in the future. This book, with how they have the ERA, 6.15 ERA versus a veteran that has a 3 ERA, and you're giving the favorite to the 6. That is a clear indicator. I think the A's would be the side. If you want to grab it, I think the time to grab it will be now, because I think that there is going to be a public fade of Detmers, and at some point it gets the value on the A's is going to just be too gone once you reach that range.
You agree that Jack Perkins could go out there, give us 5 innings of decent baseball tomorrow?
100%.
We're not talking about a regular Angels lineup. This is Neto, Meckler, Grissom, Adele,
to help that point. He's been striking guys out. So like when you're seeing this transition, he is getting guys to strike. If they're swing and miss stuff, that is a great sign for somebody that is like transitioning from the bullpen to a starter, is that they're not losing their ability to strike guys out. They're maintaining that. That is a great sign. But that's a great sign for a guy that's transitioning. It's just, he's loud runs. At some point, I think we start seeing fewer runs, and we start seeing a more productive performance, and he's able to get into the 6th inning, 7th inning, and take that bullpen strain away a little bit. I think Perkins is absolutely, this would be a good opportunity. Minus 130 is above my pay grade, but I think it's going to end up minus 140, 145 by the time it closes.
So here's my question. I personally think the Angels bullpen is one of the worst bullpens in baseball. Last 30 days, they haven't really reflected that. They blew up last night. I don't have stats from tonight on this. What do you think? Should I isolate this to the first 5 if I want to back the Athletics and just keep it to the starting pitchers? Or do I think that the Angels bullpen can be worse than the Athletics bullpen? Because the Athletics bullpen hasn't been a strong suit for this team either. I think that I'm kind of jumping through hoops if I'm saying a pitcher that hasn't really been that great so far. He's had 4 real chances at a start. He's had 1 good start in those 4 chances. And that they're already pricing him like he's the better pitcher versus Reed Detmers, who's gone out there and had 7 innings pitched in his last 2 games. Like, shouldn't I be getting a better price than this? On one hand, like I feel like the books are telling me, yes, this is the right side, but there's also am I paying too much for a bullpen that doesn't deserve it?
I was gonna say, like, there's also the danger of trying to find your, like, perusing for your price can be a problem at times. Like it feels like, hey, look, this is clearly, I think the full game is within the price range of where you can still back it. And I don't feel it's necessary here to try to isolate the first 5, because I would want to include the Angels bullpen. What's up?
Oakland's cheaper first 5 because you want to include the Angels bullpen.
Well, you're trying to find, it feels like you're trying to find the better value, and you're going to get plus money off of a minus half versus, minus 130 on the money line full game, which I can totally understand that. It's just a matter of, Detmers can still be very good. And it's also his home road splits, how much of that shows up in the division where he's more comfortable in those stadiums. That's some I didn't get to look at Detmers going into this. This is stuff I would want to consider if I was going into this and I was going first 5 full game. I'm fine. I'm back in Perkins and I have the bullpen and the offensive advantage. But first 5, I want to figure out the things I want to see is how is Detmers done against the A's in Sacramento? How has he done? How's he done in division, and how's he done first 5 this year? And if all those boxes are checked, then I don't have any issue going from full game to first 5. But I think we'd have enough boxes checked if you were fine going minus 130. That full game is absolutely on the table. I wouldn't need to try to go find better value because I feel like I already got a solid enough pick going full game with all the advantages I got, and the price seems to be a solid enough price given how much of an advantage you get, if that makes sense. The price break seems relative to what I see as an advantage in the positives of the offense, the bullpen, and the starting pitching.
This is wild. Detmers has seen the Athletics once so far this season at home, much more pitcher-friendly park than what he will see here in Sacramento.
Doesn't push me. Yeah,
8 earned runs in that game.
Oh shit. Okay. Ooh, all right. Ooh.
They absolutely touched him up.
Yeah, first 5.
And Perkins, so this is what this guy has dealt with. That Athletics park that you saw, that's the AAA park they've played in. Like, that's what he was dealing with in the PCL. The PCL is the most offensive AAA league you could possibly play in. Like, he knows nothing but pitching in these, like, terrible atmospheres. Yes, his numbers look worse. I'm so close to pressing the button on this minus 114 first 5. I'm going to come back to this game. I really want to bet it. We're taking a lot of time, so let's move on.
I see what you're doing there, though. I don't mind that. Don't mind that at all.
Next game up on the board, we got Baltimore Orioles, LA Dodgers. Brandon Young on the mound versus Emmett Sheehan. Sheehan is a guy that's impressed me. I thought at one point in the season that we were getting some pretty good value. They were just underpricing him, but no longer is that true. We're looking at Emmett Sheehan priced in the 200s. Yes, he's a good pitcher. Yes, the LA Dodgers offense is one of the best offenses in baseball, but I believe Ohtani is out for this game. Brandon Young has been one of these pitchers that's just gone out there and got it done. Like, every single time you see the Orioles go out there, somehow Brandon Young finds a way to pitch a good game and the Orioles offense shows up. They've won almost every single game he started this season.
Yeah.
You're giving outrageous value on the Orioles. I know it's the Dodgers, but plus 186 isn't right. Plus 1.5, you can still get like minus 115. What is this?
To put a number to what you said, Baltimore 9-2 when Young is on the mound. They are 4-1 when he's on the mound on the road. They are 7-1 when he's on the mound since May. Like, dude just wins. 7 of the 11 games, though, have gone over 8.5. And since May, 3 of the 4 road games have gone over 8.5. About middle of May, I called him just a guy, which I didn't mean it as like a disrespectful thing. I'm just a guy now in Major League Baseball. You're throwing 95. Like, it used to be just a guy. I was like, you threw 90. Like, you maybe had like one good pitch, and that was kind of it. Now, just a guy is you have 95 with a full-on pitch mix. I looked at like his stuff, like, okay, he's pitching really well. I might have to, come on here and kind of, eat some crow. But his walk rate, league average. His hard hit rate, it's higher than league average. His barrel rate, league average. His expected ERA, league average. His expected batting average against, league average. It wasn't meant in as an insult, and I still think it is the apt description of who he is. He's a 4 ERA guy that can just be productive. He is Oliver Perez. He is Jamie Moyer. R.I.P. Jamie Moyer. Don't know if he's dead, but I feel like it's probably good to just have that on the record.
He pitched until he died. He pitched until he died.
He's just like, when he came back for that little tryout, it was like, I thought there was like a memorial for him. I thought there was an in memoriam for him. Like, we had a video for him and everything. But I don't see anything special from Young. He's just kind of a guy. He's being very productive. He's getting there's a lot of wins coming his way, but I don't think it's going to sustain itself. There's nothing in the metrics that are making me go like, oh yeah, this is definitely a guy I want to bet on. It's just happened that Orioles have won. They have scored runs because I just talked about those trends about how many of these games have gone over their totals. I just kind of see him as a dude that's just a guy, not meant as disrespectful, just a guy. Sheehan, his stuff is good. It's just he cannot execute on the road. Like it's just for whatever reason. There are certain people that whether it's they just get too tight, they try to do too much, they overthrow, whatever it might be. But I don't think there's a coincidence that the fact that this has been happening so consistently in his career, there has to be something mental or physical that's going on in these road starts. At this game, he's at home, so he's definitely the situation you want to bet on. But yeah, I think he figures out eventually. I do think he's going to end up becoming a complete pitcher, home road, left, right, all that stuff. But I would honestly, dude, next time he's on the road, try an opener. You did it once and it worked. Dodgers, you did it once and it worked. Try it again. Try just not like as a Padres fan trying to help you, but just try it one more time. See if it works. Try to get him something that's different to get him back on routine. But I got nothing in this game except for the fact that I wanted to not eat crow on just a guy.
So I think you would enjoy this. Toast nickname for the bullpen there is the Millionaire Boys Club.
All right, yeah. The Caviar Club?
Always cracks me up. It's tough to just not want to back Brendan Young on that big number, but I have a note written here right in front of me, and it says, when you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras. So when you see a pitcher going out there pitching really well all season and all of his metrics look terrible and he's facing the best offense in Major League Baseball, don't think that he's going to be something special. He's just a horse. He's going to go out there and do everything that we've seen LA Dodgers do against pitchers all season. He's going to get hit up. The price is -200 for a reason. I get it. I'm gonna be off this game. I think there's a little bit of value on Baltimore just because I think Dodgers should be price closer to like 160, honestly. But yeah, maybe I'm just wrong.
No, you're right. It shouldn't
Dodgers show up and win.
It shouldn't be that way. But the fact that it is that way is also like, okay, maybe the books are also agreeing that it's it's Jag. He's Jag.
All right. Next up, we got Boston versus Seattle. Should be a pretty solid game for us here tomorrow. I'm currently loading tonight's game on my spreadsheet because it's still going on. Trying to get tomorrow's game pulled up really quick. Moose, you got anything in this you want to talk about? Because I'm still loading yesterday's pitchers.
I got you. You got Peyton Toll going for Boston, who is, oh my God, I love the way he plays the game. I love his energy, just how much enjoyment he has on the field. That reminds me so much. I mean, I wasn't like quite as left-handed as he is in terms of just how he behaves. But I was very animated. I like the pitchers that are animated, and animated not just in an aggressive way, but also animated in a, hey, I'm having fun, without looking like they don't care. He is a great pitcher. Jenner Ortega, little butt. Sinker is an issue. 23.4% usage on his sinker, and he's giving up a 333 batting average against, 332 expected batting average, 463 slug, and a 482 expected slug. So all of those numbers feel like they have a little bit more weight to them because even the expected numbers match and mirror what you're seeing from the actual data. 45.1% hard hit rate and a 13% swing and miss rate. That is not good. You do not want to have a hard hit rate and a and a low swing and miss. But everything else is fantastic. He's still young. He's still learning it out. 3 of the 4 starts on the road have gone under 6.5, and 6 of his 10 starts have been under 7.5 in Peyton Toll. Logan Gilbert. Look, the issue is the hard hit rate. The issue is the barrel. He just keeps on giving up a lot of big-time hard hit balls, and I would strongly suggest that use an opener for a few starts. Gilbert has a career 2.52 ERA the first time through, and in the first inning this year, he has had a lot of problems. He has a 6 ERA in the first inning. Inning second, 3, 4 are all under 3. try an opener. Like, just do something to change up the fact that his first inning has been one of his biggest struggles. That's not happening tomorrow. I would absolutely lean towards Boston. I'm on Boston right now. So I don't know how that game's going right now. I'll be checking on that a little bit. But I would lean towards an under here. Boston has done well in the series. I would lean towards Boston, but the fact that I'm seeing a minus 143 on Logan Gilbert and a 6.5 is telling me that this is probably Seattle side, and maybe the under would be the right way to attack this. If it was a lower number on the Mariners, maybe I'd be more likely to go to Boston, but at a plus 119, plus 120, plus 121, minus 143, yeah, I'm probably going to stay off Boston as a side, but maybe the total under might grab me.
So just went through, got everything loaded back up for tomorrow's game. I actually moved on the under 7 minus 120 in this game. Shout out my guy, sports scientist Jacob, texted me earlier in the day. He said that 7 will be gone tomorrow when we wake up. Took a peek at the game. I saw Tolle. Everything you're talking about, the energy he brings to the mound, it's refreshing. He's having fun playing baseball. The interviews he has after the game. I like the kid. He's awesome. I came into the season really having some question marks around him because he really just had the fastball that he could throw for a strike. But so far this season, he's commanding 3 pitches in the zone, doing pretty well. I think you put him in the most pitcher-friendly ballpark in baseball, he does decent. And Gilbert, the numbers don't look beautiful so far this season, but he just had a great start. 7 innings pitched, put him against one of the worst lineups in baseball in Boston. Also, Boston has a great bullpen. My only concerns in this game are Munoz and Chapman. They both threw pitches Thursday night. So, I mean, if they throw again tonight, there's a chance that they won't go tomorrow. But I still think this 7 is live. The only way I lose this game if the Mariners just put up a huge inning on Tolle. And I'm going to put my faith in the kid to not do that. -7 or under 7 minus 120 is what I paid.
Yeah, I might be joining you on that one. I like that one. I might be joining you.
All right.
Did I black out? Did we miss San Diego, Texas? Or is this like intentionally we do not want to get Moose going on Padres?
No, let's I don't know if we have I
got both pitchers.
Do I have yesterday's game again? Giolito, Eovaldi? Yeah, I do.
No, it'd be Giolito and Rocker. Eovaldi got scratched because of an injury today.
Okay, so should be a fun game. What are your thoughts on that?
I guess that's one way to put it. With Giolito and Kumar Rocker on the mound, with Giolito, it's pretty easy. It's all about the change. If he can throw the change up and be effective with it, he could be somewhat decent. That is far from a guarantee. He has not been consistent with his changeup, and you have seen offenses absolutely obliterate him. The offense has looked like it's picked up. Ty France has had quite a weekend. Manny Machado had quite a day today. It was another high-scoring affair. Seems like this series seems to be trending over, which, of course, as soon as you say it's trending over and you get 2 pitchers like Giolito and Rocker on the bump, it goes under. Just as a side note on the Padres, I would love to see Stammen grow a couple of pairs of nuts between his legs and have Manny go down in the lineup, prove he's a team player, and then bring him back up so that we can have an actual team again. Because it just feels like it is just
do you remember Baltimore, Manny? You're not going to prove Baltimore Manny's a team player.
I want to see at least try. Like, if you're going to improve, like if I'm the manager, I'm at least having him prove, like, all right, you see, this is exactly what the problem is, and now we can identify it. With the fact that he's just like, hey, you're in the 3 and 4 hole again, and you
he goes out there like this. He doesn't want John Boy to pick up anything because he doesn't want any bad media.
You know what's funny is I do that all the time. I was like, it's a joke that like I will talk to like a student or something, and I'll just be like, all right, so look, here's the deal, and like I will literally do that when I'm talking. Like I will be in a conversation. I will legitimately be like talking to a girl at a bar and I cannot help it. It's just like, so, have you seen, like, it happens so instinctively that I'm just like, nobody's trying to pick up when I'm talking. Like, just talk normal. But anyways, Kumar Rocker, the Rangers are 6-8 in games that he's been on the bump, but they are 4-5 in games when he started at home. Left-handed hitters have been an issue. He has a 1.55 whip against lefties, a 275 average against, and a 463 slug this year. And in his career, it has also been poor against lefties, a 1.63 whip. He gets a decent ground ball rate. He will get ground balls, and the Padres are prone to hitting ground balls and have one of the highest double play totals in baseball. But the metrics say that the sinker and cutter both need to get figured out pronto. His sinker has a 32.7% usage and has a 333 batting average against with a 495 slug. The cutter isn't used as much, 11.5%, but still the third most pitch he uses. And it is a 300 batting average against with a 550 slug. He's got to figure this out. He's still young. He's still obviously going to be in the future plans for what the Rangers are doing with their rotation with Jack Leiter, DeGrom, Eovaldi, all those guys. But he's got to get this stuff figured out. I would not be shocked if they decided to send him down to the minors to kind of work on some things just to get that shaping to his sinker and his cutter to be a little bit more effective. I don't have anything here other than saying it would be an over, but I am not going to trust the Texas offense for an over. I'm not going to trust the Padres offense for an over, but that would be the only way I could put a ticket on this game would be for an over.
Yeah. Like you said, these offenses are so fucking bad. We're one of the most pitcher-friendly parks in baseball. I just find myself leaning to that under, to be honest. Kumar Rockers made it here. I know it's been rough, but I mean, this is the kind of offense I feel like he could excel against. It's tough.
I can excel against this offense. I
All
still
right.
got the changeup. I still got a nasty changeup. And my slurve, or my slutter, I should say, is really good.
I'd fall in love with you immediately. A lefty with a nice changeup is just my sweet spot. Every single time I see it, I just sit there and then I have to lose money on the guy. Trevor Rogers, when that changeup is on, it's one of the best pitches in baseball. And then you tune in when the changeup is not on, and it's like, why did I bet on this guy?
It's just BP. It's just like, whoops, BP.
Last game up, New York Mets, Philadelphia Phillies. Zach Wheeler on the bump versus David Peterson. Peterson's kind of been back and forth this season. His last couple outings, he hasn't really been going deep. He's got hit up, and I don't trust him. This Phillies lineup has been, subpar all season. I expect them to turn that around, but does that happen versus David Peterson tomorrow? I kind of tend towards yes, but not at minus 199 price. This price should be sitting at minus 150. Philadelphia Phillies. I disagree with the fact that their bullpen should be able to carry out a Zach Wheeler start to a over minus 200 caliber. Duran will be on back-to-back days. Their closer, their best arm back there. And I just don't buy it. At this price, it's Mets for me. Will Wheeler pitch well? I think there's a possibility that he does not. We've seen some lefty issues from him in the past, and this Mets lineup will be loaded with lefties tomorrow. Recently here, this lineup has started to heat up a little bit. I think it can happen.
It's also at home versus the Mets. He's got 3-2 with a 3.43 ERA, 57 innings pitched with 50 hits. So it's not exactly, shutting him down like he has in New York. And when the game's in New York, Wheeler has pitched much better. You are comparing a hitting park to a pitcher's park. So, obviously taking that with a grain of salt. Wheeler, he's a Cy Young type contender this year. The Phillies are 8-2 in his starts, 4-0 in his starts at home. He's had 17 starts against the Mets with a 3.36 ERA, but like I said, 3.43 ERA at home. That means he's done better over there in New York than he does in Philadelphia. Peterson, 7 starts this year. New York Mets are 2-7. He's had 7 starts this year. The Mets are 0-7 in his starts. They've had issues on the road in his career, 4.5 ERA on the road. This year, again, 4.5 ERA on the road. The slider has really regressed this year. In 23 and 24, his slider graded over 100 in stuff plus. It was 101 or 104 in 2024. And this year, it is graded out at 88. that is a major drop off on that slider. And you are seeing a lot of the issues in his showing up in his whip against left-handed hitters this year. He has a 1.33 whip, and against right-handed hitters this year, he has a 1.78 whip. I would absolutely agree with you. It is tough to argue that it should be a minus 200 in this game, but given some of the discrepancies that Peterson has had this year, I kind of think that maybe this is lined appropriately, given Peterson has really struggled, and Wheeler does have a lot of success against this team. The bullpen is absolutely the concern here. I'm not sure what the usage of Mets bullpen. I'm pretty sure Williams was unavailable today. Weaver may have been unavailable today. Brazoban, I think, may have been available today. So I'm not sure what their availability would be as well tomorrow. Potentially that is baked into where the price is now. But I would only be on the Phillies here, but not touching at minus 200.
Yeah, bullpen situations look good for me rolling into tomorrow. I think everybody's available. Awesome breaking down the full card with you, Moose. I'd love to do this again at some point. Do you have any bets officially locked in for tomorrow? It seemed like you were kind of going into it with a little bit of
Yeah, the ones that I have written down right now that I just wanted to check how the Guardians finished their bullpen was Cleveland money line and the under in that game, and then there's a few others that you threw out there. The Cubs and the Blue Jays under that you mentioned, and there was another under that you mentioned that I also liked as well. So there's a few that I like, but I do kind of want to step back, see how the game's played out, and then kind of go back and reassess. But right now, closest I am to anything would be Cleveland and the under in Cleveland Houston.
Shout out Rod Zawacki, Timber, hashtag Zach Fallon, obviously a Zach Gallen shout out. So officially tomorrow, I am on that under 7 in the Chicago Cubs versus Toronto Blue Jays game. I paid minus 115 for it. I truly believe that closes 6.5 everywhere. Hand caught in the cookie jar with this Yankees game makes me feel disgusting looking at this. I paid minus 130 for the money line. You can get 20 cents better than that right now. I obviously bet that with Cole in there. I thought it was suspiciously low, and it wasn't a Garrett Cole game. Sometimes that happens. I also have the under 7 in the Red Sox versus Mariners games. I paid minus 120 for that, and a bunch of juice on the Giants. I know it's minus 140, but this is a Marlins team I had my hand on all season. I feel pretty attached to them. I just don't understand how they get there in this game. I'm going to be on the Giants. So that's what I got locked in for tomorrow. I might wind up with one or more bets, but that's where I'm at right now. Obviously, great doing the show with you tonight. Moose, anything else you got to say for the people? Where can they find you at? Moose Drive, please shout it out. I think it's some great work you did last year. I looked into it.
It was a lot. It was a lot of work. It was like 836 pages by the time I got done with the whole thing of just data chaos. Dude, I just enjoyed breaking down. It's always fun talking with you. We haven't been able to really have any exclusive one-on-one screen time, so I appreciate the opportunity. And anytime I get to talk some baseball and go through some breakdowns and stuff, I enjoy doing this. It is a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun to be able to come out here, talk to people that are fun to talk sports with. And Spoon, you are no different. It was an absolute joy. So thank you for allowing me to pinch hit, if you will, if I got my little handy dandy up. Thank you for allowing me to pinch hit, and I hopefully did not swing and miss on my attempt here today.
No, you absolutely killed it. You showed me up. You did great work tonight. Appreciate it. Everybody in the chat, thanks for showing up. Tomorrow night, Jimmy will be back here to carry you on. Have a great one. Good luck tomorrow. Get some cash. Gamble responsibly, guys, and enjoy Father's Day. Shout out to all.
Happy Father's Day! Oh my God, yeah, happy Father's Day, Jesus.
It's easier to sleep in the black when you're losing your ass and feeling so. You know what to do. Tune in to Pop Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride, you're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter, these shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Debbie and the fam, Dutch wine time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button, don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.